The thermostat and the fan, they play similar functions, which is cooling of the vehicle engine. But you see, I'm going to now talk about the difference and why the thermostat actually is needed for your vehicle. In our last broadcast, we talked about thermostats, the importance in our vehicles in Nigeria. After the cooling in your vehicle, that's how to really do this video to address that question. First of all, we talked about the importance of the thermostat in your vehicle. The role the thermostat plays, one, is to block the flow of coolant. Now, what function does that do? When the engine of the vehicle is cool, the thermostat blocks the coolant from flowing around the engine. Now, because the engine temperature is cool, the thermostat will serve as a block, the valve blocks, so that the coolant will not flow through the engine. That is one function. The second function is to allow the coolant to flow in the engine, circulation of coolant. Now, this happens when the temperature of the engine has reached the operating temperature, which is between 80 to 90 degrees centigrade. At that temperature, the thermostat opens up because the engine should not be allowed to work above that operating temperature. So the thermostat valve opens up and allows the coolant to flow through to cool off the engine. You see, the first function is that one, the thermostat blocks the coolant from flowing when the engine is cold. The second, it allows the flow of the coolant when the engine is working at its operating temperature, which is the high temperature, when it's very hot. Now, these are the two functions of the thermostat. And it's very important that our engine, the thermostat regulates the engine temperature, not the ambient temperature. So when the engine temperature is cold, the thermostat closes, it's not open. So coolant does not flow. When it's now hot, the thermostat opens and allows coolant to flow, thereby cooling the engine. What does the fan do? The fan helps to dissipate the heat. You see, when the thermostat opens up and the coolant flows around the engine, the heat that comes out, the fan helps to dissipate the heat, takes the heat out of the car. Now, the second function of the fan is to cool the radiator. As it's taking away the heat, it's cooling the radiator. Those are the two functions of the fan. But it's important to know that the first function of the fan is that the heat generated or taken that the thermostat through the cooling of the engine, the heat that comes out, the fan takes it out. That is to show the primary function of the cooling of the engine is the thermostat. The secondary function of the cooling of the engine has to do with the fan. The thermostat, remember we said the thermostat, one, when the engine is hot, the thermostat opens up to allow the coolant to flow around the engine, removing the heat. That heat, the fan helps to dissipate it out of the car to the outside. So you see, the thermostat plays the primary function of cooling, while the fan plays the secondary function of cooling. So you see, it is very important and it's imperative that your thermostat remains in your car. If you have a bad thermostat, what do? You change it. You do not remove it and connect it directly and make the fan work on it. Because like if you listen to our video, there are so many functions the thermostat does. It helps even reduce your fuel consumption. So go back to the video, watch it, and you will understand the difference. But I just have to do this to explain further the difference between the fan and the thermostat. So do not leave your fan to be running continuously, but connect your thermostat and let your fan go, so that the perfect condition will be there for your car to work. Please, I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Always watch our video. And remember, the more you watch our video, the more you understand your car better. Thank you very much.